All right, howdy, hey, and hello. We are here with another episode of Munch and Mingle, and we are currently in our baby week. And this episode has been long coming. I call it destiny. A lot of these episodes I do, but this particular one is destiny. I have got my friend Mikell here.
Hello.
We are in her house. All the babes are asleep. So it's after hours with moms. Just kidding.
The best time.
Okay, well, before we get into anything, let's talk about your munchie.
Oh, my munchie.
You can explain it. I'll get mine out, then I'll pass you yours.
Right. You got it. It is the best. So I had her pick up a blueberry cake donut from Bowman's.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, they are seriously to die for.
And I'd never heard of Bowman's.
Yeah. So
it's this place here in Kaysville.
It's just like a little like family owned grocery store.
Okay.
So they're all like fresh baked goods. And the best part is after 7:00 every day, they go 50% off.
Which I was a benefactor of that.
I was going to say, as you noticed, people go and they fight for their donuts.
It was insane. I went to the case and I'm like, okay, all the donuts are gone. Then I look and I'm like, oh my gosh.
There they are.
They're in trays and people are just grabbing them. And I'm like, what is tomorrow? Oh, it's Saturday. Get it. Yeah. And it's after 7.
Okay, but you know what? Even when it's not Friday night, it is insane. That is usually what Jordan and I do. Like after the kids go to bed, if it's been a rough day, it's a Bowman's donut kind of night.
Cute. And you guys, it's really right around the corner from you.
It's right around the corner.
Oh, yeah. So perfect. Okay. So this one is the blueberry cake. I can't
Blueberry cake. It is just.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try not to eat that during the episode. Okay, that's good. I could see that, needing that after a long day.
Yeah, they're really good.
Wow. Oh, I was telling you before when I was driving here, it was like down memory lane, blast from the past. So I'm in Utah County now.
Right.
I left Davis County after high school. And I honestly, I've passed through, but I've always been either with Britton and the kids, but I was just by myself coming to you. And it was night. And it was just so crazy because I traveled all the time on I-15 between Layton and Centerville, Woods Cross.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving and I'm like, whoa, like I feel like I'm in high school again.
Blast from the past.
Yes. And it's Davis County driving. So, and I'm not proud to say it, but I am a Davis County born driver. So I'm bobbing and weaving. And it's just like, it's like the back of my hand. I had to catch myself like, oh my goodness.
You're like, I can do this in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
It was insane. So it was very nice to come back here. I haven't really gone to Kaysville too much.
Well, it's a good area. We love it here.
It is
we really do. It was hard to get Jordan. We moved to Centerville for about a year. And then Jordan just had to come back to Kaysville. He loves it so much.
Is that where he's from then?
Yeah. So Jordan is from Kaysville. And so he wanted to come back and I don't blame him because we love it here. We really do.
Out of all the places I remember from people living in Davis County, Farmington and Kaysville are the only places I've never really lived.
Okay. Yeah.
And of those two, everyone always said Kaysville is the best.
Yeah. People don't leave.
I can see why. Exactly. Like you said, or they come back.
Everybody stays. Yeah, exactly. They stay or they come back for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get right into it. So, Mikell and I have a funny little way of how we get to know each other or how we've been able to know each other. We didn't even really, we were in different friend groups. We went to junior high together.
Yes.
I knew of you and that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I feel like I got to know you a little bit more in high school in dance. But aside from that,
yeah, it was that
we kind of knew who each other were, but we didn't really know each other.
Yeah. And then I was out and social media is what brought us back together.
Thank heavens for social media.
And even then I would still say like, oh yeah, we were friends. I kept like, that's how I was saying. I was like, oh, you met Jordan and you waited for him. And I only knew that because of social media.
Exactly. Right.
And so, it wasn't until Sloan. That's literally what brought us. And then I had Beau and it was like, boom, click, done.
I know. The second that you posted that you had a placental abruption, my heart just like sank because I'm like, I know exactly what she's going through and it hurts my heart so bad.
The only reason I knew what I was going through is because you had posted about it 2 months. 2 months? It was December?
Yeah.
That
December
it happened.
26th. Yep.
And then mine was February 3rd. I always had the 2 and 3. That's crazy. So destiny, I tell you.
I love it.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, because we will definitely get to that, let's jump back. Let's talk about you.
Let's talk about me.
Where were you born?
So like you, Davis County, born and raised. I was born in Centerville, raised in Centerville, the whole house, or same house my entire life.
Dang.
Yeah, we didn't move anywhere. We just stuck to our roots.
I came for, it was not long. I was in and out, but yes. Okay. What was your family life like growing up?
So I am actually the only girl in my family. I have 3 older brothers.
Okay.
So that was always fun. Growing up, I kind of wanted a sister, but now the older I am, I'm like, oh, thank heavens, I don't have any sisters.
Are you the youngest?
I am the youngest.
Okay.
So the youngest and the only girl. But I think it made my mom and I kind of become best friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good. It's fun to have 3 older brothers looking after you. It was very intimidating for guys, always.
I bet.
3 older brothers, no sisters. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Likes, interest, hobbies. What did you do growing up?
Dancing.
Yep.
Dance, and
dance
a little bit more. Yeah.
And that was it.
And that truly was life.
And it kind of leads then into Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you were in high school.
We were in high school when we met.
Let's talk about that.
So Jordan was actually supposed to go to Davis High School. But his uncle, he coached hockey at Viewmont High School. And Jordan played hockey. So he actually transferred his junior year to Viewmont High, where I was at.
And Viewmont was big for hockey.
Oh, yeah.
That is their thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely their thing. And so this is funny because, Mikell Emery, I don't know if you remember her from high school.
It sounds familiar.
So we were sitting in driver's ed together and we looked out the door and she said something like, oh, that's Jordan Coulihan. He just transferred here from Davis. And she's like, he's so cute. And back then we were definitely friends. We were good friends, but it was always a little like competitive between the 2 of us. And I hate to admit this, but I had a boyfriend at the time, but I was like, oh no, he's going to be mine instead. Great. And anyway, so funny, in one of the dance classes that I was a TA for.
Yes.
There was another boy that was on the hockey team in there, and we were kind of good friends, and that same day after school was over, we went into the commons area and he was sitting there talking to Jordan. And I was like, goodness, here we go. Let's go. So anyway, we got each other's phone numbers and started talking. And I broke up with my boyfriend because I was like, this is sad. I told him at the time, I said, I just really can't have a boyfriend right now. And then the next day I went out on a date with Jordan and somehow he saw us, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Centerville's a small town.
But right. So he had to have seen us because I didn't tell anyone about our date. And the next morning he texted me. Oh, and he was like, I thought you didn't need a boyfriend right now. And I was high school. Oops. But anyway, so since that date, we've been inseparable ever since. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So, you guys dated all through high school. Yeah. You were in the same grade.
No, he's a year older than me. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then he graduated.
Correct.
You still dated. When did he leave on his mission?
So he left on his mission December of 2011.
Okay.
So I still had the rest of my senior year.
Well, he was gone.
Wow. Yeah.
How was it waiting? Because I was waiting, but I was not waiting in high school. How was that?
Oh, man. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Because it was hard because you did have so many people that were rooting for you because they kind of knew your quote unquote love story already. You know what I mean? So you did have a lot of support, but you also still had a lot of guys that still wanted to like date. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
yeah. Something so about this, like, it's like there's this little arrow above you when you're waiting for someone. They're like, go get her. She's available.
God. I know. And it is hard. And then I mean, it became hard because I had a good guy friend. And so then everyone started the rumor of, oh, well, she's not waiting for Jordan already. She's already moved on to this guy. And I am like, oh my goodness, can I not have friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So, I mean, it had its pros and cons. I feel like it did help that time period to go by a little bit quicker in the beginning, the hard part, you know, one of the harder parts, because you did have all your friends around and things like that.
How was it with his family? Like, because at that time it would be just the 2 phone calls.
Yeah, exactly. They were so good. They were amazing. So every single time he called, they invited me over to come over and be able to spend time with them. And his mom was the sweetest. You know, she would always check in, see how things are doing. I remember right after he left like 2 days after Christmas, 3 days after Christmas. And on New Year's Eve, she brought me over like a blanket to cuddle with.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was the sweetest.
That honestly, I think is what helps the most. I mean, I had it the same with Britt's family, and shout out to the girls who don't get that. I know that's not always the case, but thank heavens for those family members that
are supportive. It made a world of difference.
Wow.
For sure.
So then you graduate and he still got a year-ish.
Yeah. He's still got a year and a half almost.
Okay.
Almost.
And then you went to school.
Yeah. So I actually went to cosmetology school for a hot second, for just a hot second, and didn't end up finishing cosmetology school. I was at cosmetology beauty school dropout.
No. It's hard, but also,
but then just realized my passion was more with skincare. So I actually transitioned over to aesthetic school, and I wrapped that up just a couple months after Jordan got home. Okay, so I was busy.
Which is so nice.
I was busy in school, which definitely helps. And it was kind of nice going to a school with all girls. I didn't have to worry about you know, the whole guy situation, which made it really nice. So.
Okay, so he gets home. How long before you guys are engaged?
Oh my gosh, I was the weirdest when he got home, man.
Okay, now we hear this.
Because I had all these girlfriends that waited for their missionaries, right?
Yeah.
And they all got home and they were engaged within like a month.
That was me.
and Jordan is not like that. Jordan's like, I need to be like well established in a job. I need to, you know, like he is very structured.
Yeah.
He thinks through things really well. And so after it had been like a month, I'm like, yo, where's my ring? I waited for 2 years. And anyway, so I was like an emotional mess over it. Anyway, so about 6 months later.
Okay.
We got engaged
within the year.
2 months after that, we were married.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it still was fast. But like I said, I had a girlfriend that her missionary came home like 2 weeks before Jordan, and they were married in March. So they were like married / engaged within 3 months.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. Okay, what's wrong with me?
And that is the hardest. Like you said, when you've waited, you're just like, okay. And that was me I had the venue photographer, videographer booked before he even gave me the ring, because I was like, 1, I've waited, but 2, I was also doing wedding planning. So I was like already very aware of what we needed to do. So I think Britain, I don't know. I think I did push him a little, like, I will not book one more thing until I have a ring, but dude, I better have a ring soon, because I'm not going to get this deposit back.
Yeah. No, and I get that. I was kind of the same way. We had like the temple booked and everything like that booked before he actually proposed.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I'm getting impatient.
Yes. These men, they don't understand, but it's okay. It's fine. They made it. We're good.
Trying to make sure he had a stable job. Yeah. It's fine.
Dang it. He's being so responsible. Oh, I love that. Okay. So that was 2011 or 2012. You were married.
I was married 2014.
Oh, duh.
Graduated in 2012.
That's where I was getting the year. Okay. Duh. We graduated in 2012. Okay. I'm so sorry. The mom brain is still very real.
Oh, I feel you.
Okay. And that was what I was saying. I was like, I remember you were one of the first friends married. Because you were 20.
Yeah.
But still, it was like, wow. But I knew you had waited. Yeah. And so it was like, one made it. Yes. Oh, okay. When did you have Gabe?
I had Gabe in 2018, January 1st.
Wow.
New Year's Day, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. How was the pregnancy?
It was good. You know, all the way up until my very last appointment, I was at 36 weeks and like 5 days or something like that. And I go in, my doctor, is usually like a very goofy guy, right? I go in, I sit down, they take my blood pressure, and he sees it. And he's like, I need you in the chair now. We need to check your baby. And I'm like, panic attack, right? I had preeclampsia and my blood pressure was like absolutely insane. It was through the roof. So he went in and he's like, okay, your baby looks okay, but you're having a baby. And so I had to go in for the next 2 days and get like the steroid shots for his lungs and whatnot, you know? So up until that point, everything was great,
fine.
but he was born at 37 weeks.
Wow.
Completely healthy. No NICU time or anything like that at 37 weeks. But yeah.
How was recovery? Was it it was your first.
Right. No, I feel like I've actually been really lucky with all my recoveries.
Great.
I feel like my recoveries have been very smooth. I haven't torn on any of my deliveries, you know, anything like that. So I've been pretty fortunate with recovery on all of my babies.
Did you have any postpartum anxiety, any postpartum depression?
Oh, the anxiety was real. It was.
I think it comes with the first.
So bad. Like I would even have a hard time seeing Jordan holding our baby.
Really?
I'd be like, you're not doing it right. Which like, he's doing it perfect, right? But like, yeah, anytime I saw other people holding my baby or him being passed around or things like that, I'm just like, deep breaths, Mikell. Everything is going to be fine.
No, it's so hard.
You know, and it's like you try to not get in your head, especially with it being your first. You're like, I'm not going to be the psycho mom. I'm not, you know, but it's so hard. Yeah. Like you said, I feel like especially with your first.
Yes. And I talked about this on my birth story episode, it's just in your head. I mean, especially as women, we have that maternal instinct. Yeah. So it's just like, of course I can do this. I am made to have babies. So I will be fine. And then they get here and it's, oh my gosh, this baby's life depends solely on me. And if they don't make it, it's all on me.
It's me. Yep. It's not dad. It's not grandma.
No,
it's me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it just drives you up a wall. And that's what I was trying to hopefully on that episode normalize is because I felt alone.
Yeah. Oh,
and
absolutely.
You almost don't feel like you can tell anyone.
Yep. And the other thing is I never wanted to ask for help. Yep. I don't know if you felt this way, but I never wanted to ask for help because I didn't want to come across as like a mom that couldn't do it. Yep. You know, because I see all these other moms that are just like hammering away and I feel like they don't have any hiccups, which now that we're moms, we know truly is not the case. Everybody has a hard time, right? Yeah. But as a new mom, you're like, why is this so hard for me? And I don't want everybody else to know that it's so hard for me because I don't want people to think I'm not capable of doing this on my own, you know? And that's something that I have learned with every other baby that I've had. I'm like, okay, I need help. Please.
And it's insane because and I mean, I want to hear now on the third, but even just now having a second, you're like, wow, I am just cool as a cucumber. I mean, still there's some anxiety, but compared to where it was. For
sure.
Yep. And it's, okay. So then how, what's the year difference between Gabe and Letty?
So they are 20 months apart.
Okay. Did you plan on getting, like, what was the process then from there? You planned on it or was surprised or?
That was planned.
Okay.
Crazy as it was, that was
not crazy. That is good.
They're just so close together. You know, I thought, we talk about how hard it was having the first one, right? And there's a lot of anxiety around it. But once you kind of get the feel of it, I was thinking like, I'm made to be a mom. Yes. Like I got this. You know what I mean? Like I can totally handle this. Then I have Letty and holy smokes, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like the transition from one baby to two babies was so hard for me. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, I can't juggle this. I don't know how to do it. So I'm grateful that at that point I felt comfortable asking people for help because if I didn't, and if I didn't ask my mom or my mother-in-law to come help with the kids every now and then, it would have been rough for me.
Well, and that's our thing. We felt, oh my gosh, it was Baker even 4 months before we felt it. And it was Britton who said, I really feel like we need to have another baby. And he was the one scared to have the first. I was like, excuse me, we have a baby.
You're like, do you see this thing right here? This is the baby.
And I was like, you hold that thought. I'll go think about it. Give me some time. And sure enough, within the 24 hours, I was like, oh, shoot. No way. So we got pregnant. And I was like, look, it's probably going to take a couple months. Gosh. We were pregnant within a month. And I was like, okay, Heavenly Father, you really want this baby to be here. Oh my gosh. But I'm so glad you said that because even if Beau didn't come in the way, I still know it is. It is such a hard transition just to the two. And if there's, I mean, Baker's not even walking yet. And so it's so funny. I hear the comment all the time is like, you have your hands full, don't you? Yes. I'm literally carrying a almost toddler who won't walk because he's so stubborn, and then a baby in a carrier. And I'm like, yep, thank you. So it's so like, okay. And then my other friend just had to, and she's like, how do you do this? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm doing it.
It is literally sink or swim. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And as a mom, you just figure it out.
You just do.
Yeah.
And so good. Okay. Then what's the gap between Letty and Sloan?
The gap between Letty and Sloan, let's see, they are 26 months apart.
Okay.
So just over 2 years apart.
Mm-hmm. Same thing, felt like it was a surprise.
Total surprise. I was on birth control.
Okay.
And, so I got pregnant in April of 21 with Sloan.
Yes.
And we were talking about starting to try in like October.
Okay.
And, just right before I found out I was pregnant, I was getting ready to say to Jordan, I think we need to wait till next year. Because I'm just like, I felt like I was finally starting to get the hang of being a mom to two.
Yeah.
Like instead of going to bed at night, this sounds so bad, but instead of going to bed at night and being like, okay, like I can take on another day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know I can do it. Jordan's only gone for 10 hours a day. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can take on another day. It got to the point of being like, I'm excited to get up with my kids tomorrow. Yeah. What fun things are we going to go do? You know, like I finally had gotten into that groove. And then I missed my period. And I was like, here's the thing, I'm never late. So the night before I was supposed to start my period, I said to Jordan, I'm starting my period tomorrow. He's like, yeah, good luck with that. The next night we're laying in bed, and I didn't really think anything of it during the day, but then I'm laying in bed at night thinking of that conversation. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh my God.
I didn't start my period. The next day I still hadn't started it. And at that point I said to Jordan, I'm like, look, it's probably nothing because I'm on the pill. Yeah. We're all good, but I'm 2 days late. And he's like, well, no, you're never 2 days late. He comes home with a pregnancy test. Now, the thing is instead of having a period every 4 weeks, like a normal person, I have a period every 3 weeks. So when I do get pregnant, if I miss my period, I have to wait another week to take a pregnancy test because my body still won't read it. Right. So I took it, even though when he brought it home, even though I knew it would come back negative, it came back negative. And then about 3 days later, I took it again and it was positive. Oh my goodness.
What are you thinking in this moment?
I'm like, I don't even know why I took it when I took it. It was a Saturday morning. We were legitimately piling the kids in the car to go to Gabe's soccer game. And I take it and I see that it's positive. And I'm like, okay. So I get in the car and I just hand it to Jordan and I'm like backing the car out. And Jordan did not talk to me for 24 hours. I just know Jordan, he has to take time to process things. So I didn't take offense to it or anything, but like we did not talk for 24 hours. And then the next day was my birthday. And I was like, this is going to be fun.
Hi, sweetie. I know you're processing.
I know. I get it.
Don't want you to forget today. Got it.
But the one thing that did make me think like there was a good chance that I was pregnant, even though in my mind I'm like, no, there's just no way. So for a little bit, I was a part of a network marketing company and we went and did this fun little retreat and we went and did a sound bath, like a meditation sound bath. And I'm not usually one to like meditate or, like dig deep, things like that. Right. But I'm laying there doing that meditation sound bath. And all of a sudden I just have like this weird feeling come over me. Like, you're going to be having another baby soon. And I'm like, well, we had talked about getting pregnant at the end of the year. So yeah, whatever. And it just kept being like, no, like you're having a baby soon. Yep. So then when I did miss my period, I was like, oh, okay, we're talking soon. So
it's interesting. And I don't know if it's just a mother thing. I don't know if it's only certain people, but I feel like it is more of like a woman thing that we are more in tune. Yeah, absolutely. And especially with our children on the other side. Yeah. I had a dream 2-3 days before Beau came.
Really?
That was, we were in the hospital and I never had dreams about kids before. I thought I was going to be barren my whole life because I never had any indication of children. Yeah. And ever since I gotten pregnant with Baker, and now I have dreams all the time. And so the dream was
Yeah.
we were at the hospital and they're like, okay, you want to come pick up Beau? I was like, yep. And we knew we were naming him Beau. So I go to get Beau and they're like, okay, you ready to go see your other baby? And I was like, I don't have twins. And they're like, we know. And I was like, what? They're like, I know, it's your other baby. So I go in this other room and it was another baby and I knew it was my baby. And I remember waking up and I told Britton and he's like, oh my gosh, are we going to adopt someone at the hospital? Like that's where his mind is. I'm like, stop thinking logical, Britton. Think spiritual, okay? I was like, no, I just think that's our other baby saying, hey, don't forget about me. Yeah. Little did we know then what would be to happen. And we have had many dreams, even Britton now, of this. And I don't know how many other, but I was ready to call it.
Yeah.
And now it's like this, either if it's this one or many other, but very persistent, whoever this next one is.
They're like you're not forgetting about me. That's amazing.
We'll go back to that. But that's why when you're saying that, I'm like, there's something.
There is. Absolutely.
And okay. Also, so you had both kids and were you working at the same time?
So when I had Gabe and Letty, no, I was doing, like I said, I had a little network marketing gig that I was doing for a little bit. And then as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, I was like, okay, all my attention now, I just have to focus in on my family. Yes. You know what I mean? So
totally.
So yeah.
And the pregnancy, how was the pregnancy with Sloan? Anything different from, we didn't talk about Letty's pregnancy.
Oh, Letty's, I was sick the whole time. I was sick up until like 32 weeks.
No.
But I mean, it's fine. You know, I would... You know, it's funny after you go through something like what we've gone through, right? You look back on your other pregnancies and you're like, I'll take throwing up every day, all day for
very true
getting there. You know what I mean? But no, so her pregnancy was fine. It was just morning sickness.
Yeah.
All day sickness, whatever, you know.
And then with Sloan, same thing.
But Sloan, same thing.
Because I remember you posting about that too.
Yeah. I was very, very sick with Sloan. From like maybe 8 weeks pregnant, I had the weirdest feeling that something bad was going to happen.
Okay. That is so crazy you say that.
So weird. And I have a cousin that had 2 stillborn babies. And then, you know, you just see on social media, all these people losing babies or, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, this sounds weird. Like, I don't think anything is going to happen to her in the beginning of my pregnancy. Like, I'm so stressed that something bad is going to happen at the end of my pregnancy.
Wow.
So I asked Jordan, every time I get pregnant, I ask Jordan to give me a priesthood blessing right when I find out. And then he always gives me one before we go to the hospital. But I asked him like for like 4 or 5 because I'm like, Jordan, I am seriously so stressed that something is wrong. Like ultrasounds look fine, but something's going to happen and I don't know what. And so he's like, okay, you know, it's hard for me to say because I like wanted to say you're in your head, like because of everything else that's going on, but I don't want you to ignore these feelings either. Yep. So he gave me a blessing and I remember these very specific words that I thought were so weird the way that they were worded, but they stuck. And in the blessing, he didn't necessarily say that everything was going to be fine. He didn't say that she was going to be healthy, you know, anything like that. He just said, I promise you one day she will run with her siblings. Oh my God. And like I said, in that time, I was like, okay, like at least I know she's living. You know what I mean? So like that was good. And it kind of, the panic and the worry kind of subsided a little bit, but I carried it through carried it through the entire pregnancy with me. Yeah. And then when she was born, I knew why, you know, I knew
oh my gosh,
where that was coming from. And so going back to me remembering those couple words is after she was delivered and she was in the NICU, I, again, wasn't quite sure if she was going to make it, what her quality of life was going to look like. And the only thing that kept looping through my mind is one day she will run and play with her siblings.
Wow.
And so it's, anyway.
The only thing I ever had was I constantly was asking my doctor, I said, I know I'm further along. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, nope, I'm having this. You're measuring wrong. This baby's coming soon. And she's like, McKenna, your baby's measuring right on. And I said, no, like something's off. And I just kept saying, oh, this baby's bigger because I'm feeling a lot more pain.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I thought is he's bigger and he's coming faster.
Yeah.
He's my smallest and he did come faster.
He did come faster. You had that right.
Okay. So now we are here. Yes. So you're at, her due date was the 26th of December.
No. So her due date was January 10th.
Okay.
So 3 days after my sister-in-law got married, January 7th. So 3 days after my sister-in-law was supposed to get married. Let me back up. Towards the beginning of December, my blood pressure was high. And so they were wanting to continue to kind of watch me for preeclampsia again.
Did it happen with Letty?
No, I was in the clear with Letty. Yeah. But beginning of December, it was a little bit elevated. And so they just kind of continued to watch me. Then it was December 22nd and I went in for my appointment and it was high. It was really high. So my doctor was like, look, here's the thing. I don't see any protein in your urine or else I would send you to be induced like right away.
Right.
He said, but I'm going to at least send you to the hospital to be monitored for a few hours. And if it stays elevated, we'll induce you. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're having a baby today, I guess. Right. Well, so I go, I monitored and my blood pressure actually doesn't come down. It stays up really high. But then they come in and they're like, look, we're really busy today. And so I know we're really busy today. So we're going to actually have to schedule you to come back in a couple of days.
Wow.
Which like going back, I would go down kicking and screaming to get that baby out today. You know what I mean? That day. But they were like, we're really busy. We're going to schedule you to come in December 26th.
That's really interesting.
5 a.m.
You're like,
day after
not
Christmas.
Not only are you sending me home, day after Christmas, and I'm coming back in the morning.
5 a.m. Anyway, so yeah, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. But so they sent me home that day. So I just kind of took it easy for the next.
And you're not feeling any pain or anything?
4 days. No, not feeling pain. I just, I mean, I'm contracting a little bit, not enough, you know, that I would go to the hospital just for contractions. But my blood pressure just was high.
Wow. I can't believe I guess you're right around Christmas, but, that's maybe, is that why they did more days?
Well, like I said, I honestly think it was more of a convenience thing for them. You know what I mean? Because later on I did get my blood work or like my lab result back and there was protein in my urine that day. Once I got to the hospital and they tested it, there was protein in there. So again, another reason why I wish I would have gone down fighting a little bit more to get her delivered that day. But yeah, they just said that they were busy and so they sent me home.
Wow. Okay. So you go back 26th.
So I go back on the 26th.
5 in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning. I felt so bad. Christmas night, I had to take my kids to my parents' house and drop them off. And then, anyway, so go back 5 in the morning. And I was stressed about this hospital because it was a different hospital than I had delivered my other 2 babies at. Same doctor, different hospital. But everybody had said like, this is the worst hospital.
No,
don't, you know what I mean?
What you need to hear. Dang it.
I'm like so stressed about it. And everyone's talking about how the nurses are horrible. So anyway, I get checked in and we meet the nurse and Jordan looks at me and he's like, perfect. Like everything's going to go perfect now. The nurse is awesome. So we're going to be good. Right.
Yeah.
And just went downhill from there.
Okay. And I'll let you tell it because I know most of it. And when all this was happening, I mean, I could not believe how you were so good. I mean, okay, you posted about it and you let everyone know. And I was by my phone every day.
Yeah.
Because I was just in shock. Because the way that you had led up to it and everything, I was just like, because at that point, weren't you trying to go natural? And I remember you had talked about it and everything. And so, and I kept going in my head, I thought this is her due date. How is this happening? Like you were at the hospital when it happened.
Right, exactly.
And that's what I want to ask because mine happened because of an almost car accident.
Okay. Yeah.
So how in the world did you have an abruption?
Yeah. So like you said, I was trying to go natural, but the fact that I had to be induced, they had to use Pitocin. Okay. So Pitocin is a drug that just kicks you into labor and it kicks you into labor really hard.
Yeah.
really, really hard labor. So they don't usually recommend that you do a natural labor with it. But I was like, it's the plan. Gung-ho, we're doing it, you know? So they get my Pitocin started at about like 6:30, you know, by the time you get checked in, get hooked up to everything. And, so they get me started and I'm handling the contractions pretty well. Right. And then she bumps my Pitocin up and things start getting pretty intense and consistent. And I'm standing up, rocking on with my hands on a ball, rocking on a ball. And Jordan's like, Mikell, you need to sit down. You don't look good. Because I was just like white as could be. So I sit down and I'm like, Jordan, I'm going to pass out. I don't feel good. Anyway, so kind of get myself back a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I need to go to the bathroom. Hold on, I missed a step. Let me go back. So they started my Pitocin at 6:30. 7:30, they came in and broke my water.
Okay.
So he had a really hard time breaking my water too. He was like, you know, the little hook. Have you ever had your water broken?
Yes, I did. I never felt it, but they're like, hey, there you go. And I was like, what?
You're like, perfect.
I've felt my water break, I guess, without the hook, but
Yeah. So they had the hook, right? And he was like, seriously, like shoving.
Oh my gosh.
And the nurse is like, I've never seen this before. Like, they've never had this hard of a time breaking your water before. And I'm like, no, it's always broke fine. Anyway, so of course, you know, once your water's breaking, it's gushing and gushing and gushing. Well, I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I go into the bathroom to go pee and I look down and there's just blood everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
And they had me in a pad because of them breaking my water. So I pull my pad out and I show my nurse and I'm like, I've never bled before in labor. You know, they're like, oh, a little bit of blood is okay. And I was like, okay. And they're like, well, let's keep a pad on you just to kind of monitor it. So I got a pad on, you know, and I then opt to get into the bath a couple hours later. And again, I'm still bleeding at this point, but I get into the bath. And as I'm sitting in there, like the water is just like a greenish, reddish, gross color, right? And so she's like, whoa, okay, now you're really starting to lose a lot of blood. And she said, also, it looks like your baby pooped.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
gosh.
Okay, keep in mind, I'm going natural. So like my brain isn't functioning super well. I'm just expecting them to take the proper precautions. And you know what I mean? Anyway, she's like, so that means that your baby's in distress. And I'm like, okay. She's like, so we'll just keep an eye on it.
Oh,
okay. So at that point, it's like 10:40 when I got in the bath. I got out of the bath at like 11:25-ish. And my contractions are on top of each other. Yep. She's like, you're literally not getting a break in between your contractions. At one point, she's like, I think I turned the Pitocin up too high. So she turns it down a little bit. I'm still contracting like crazy at this point because I had just gotten out of the bath. I don't have any bottoms on, right? And I'm standing over the bed and Jordan is doing counter pressure on my back. And all of a sudden it is like someone turned a fountain on and there's just blood everywhere. Like, everywhere, right? And again, I'm like, okay, I didn't bleed with my other kids, but she was saying blood is okay, like kind of okay. So I'm not really stressing about it. And then I asked Jordan, I say, I really need a cool cloth on my neck. Will you please call a nurse in here? So he calls a nurse in and not my nurse, a different nurse comes in and she's like speechless. She's like, okay, no. Like, I'm not comfortable with this. We need to call your doctor. We need to get something done. And again, I'm still just like, not well.
Yeah.
Right.
How's Jordan in this moment?
I think he's kind of on the same track as me, right?
Yeah.
Like they're saying some blood is okay. So like, you know, you're doing okay. Don't worry about it too much. And so we're just kind of putting our trust in the nurses and the doctors at this point.
Yeah.
And then the nurse comes in, my actual nurse comes in and she goes, oh yeah, okay, maybe that's a little more blood than we want.
I'm going to punch a wall.
You're telling me, dude.
Oh my gosh, Mikell.
She's like, okay, so I'll make a call to your doctor now.
Thank you.
Now, okay. So we have been in labor for 5 hours and we're just now calling our doctor. Perfect. So Jordan asks her, he's like, so why could this, what is this? You know? And she's like, well, there's a chance she's having a placental abruption, but whatever you do, don't Google it because that'll freak you out.
Really? Oh,
and we're like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So she goes, here's the thing. There's a chance you might have to have a C-section. And throughout the whole time I have been telling her like, look, if my baby is not doing well, get her out.
Yep.
I don't care what it takes. Get her out. Right. And so she's like, there's a chance we have to do a C-section if you're not dilated to a 10 when your doctor gets here. Cause I was like a 7.5 at that time. Okay. So she's like, the only way Jordan will be able to come in with you for a C-section is if you have an epidural first. And I'm like, sweet, get me the epidural. I don't care. So they get me the epidural. Within about 30 minutes, my doctor gets there and I'm a 10. So I push twice and she's here, right?
Oh my gosh.
She comes out and she's not breathing.
Wait. You didn't have a C-section?
Nope, no C-section.
Wow.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
I wish with every fiber of my being that they would have taken me in for one.
Really?
Oh, 100%. At 8:30 in the morning when I started bleeding,
Yeah.
I wish they would have just said, okay.
Oh my gosh. We already said we were going to start crying.
I know. Cause the other thing is they're like, she's not doing great in there. You know, her heart rate isn't steady every single time. They say when you have a contraction, it's normal for the baby's heart rate to dip, right? But if it dips after the contraction, that's when you know that there's problems. And her heart rate was dipping every single time after a contraction. So it's like there were just so many red flags as to that something was wrong. Yeah. You know, but just nothing was done about it. And so that's why I'm saying like my first sign of blood at 8:30 in the morning, I wish they would have just, heck, I don't care if it's my doctor. I don't care who it is. Just say, okay, you know, we need to take you back and get this baby out because her heart rate doesn't look good and you're bleeding, you know.
And for anyone not, so when a placenta abruption happens, and I learned this from you, it's the oxygen is getting cut off because blood is going in between the uterus and the wall, uterine wall. And that's, so did they know when did it start then? Was it when you were in the bathroom and you saw the blood?
Yeah.
Because that would have been it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So she went from, she was born at 1:11 in the afternoon. So my placental abruption happened at 8:30 and she wasn't delivered until 1:11. So when I say this, I literally mean like she is my miracle. Like she should not be alive today. Yeah.
Beau, I don't think it was an hour. I think it was 52 minutes. And he wasn't responsive when they gave it. So that she is.
Yeah.
And I will say both of our babies are because they're here, but Mikell, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so
sorry, I'm jumping out. Okay.
No,
yes,
you're good.
She's here.
She comes out, they lay her on me for maybe 3 seconds. Right. And then they realize, you know, she's not breathing. And my nurse kills me. She seriously, so I had been on an anti-anxiety drug during all of my pregnancies. And so when my babies come out, they're a little like, they're chill. Yeah. Right. They're pretty chill. And she's like, it's only because of that. And I'm like, stop it. I'm like, no, it's not. I said, my other babies came out like that. I said, she's not breathing. Like she's not responsive, you know? So I'll never forget, they paged for the NICU team to come in and like 10 different doctors and nurses come running in and are working on Sloan. And this made me so mad. And now I'm so happy that he did it. But the like head doctor comes in. He's like, let's get some pictures. Let's get pictures of dad with the baby. And he's like, where's dad's phone? And Jordan was like,
not
what?
No,
so anyway, I hand my phone over but I'm so grateful that he did because he was doing it at the time because he didn't know if Sloan was going to make it. And so he wanted there to be pictures of Sloan with Jordan. You know what I mean? So now looking back, I'm so grateful that he did because she was in good hands, you know, with the 10 other doctors and nurses that were in there. But yeah.
Can you look at those pictures?
Oh, I lose it every time. Yeah. It's hard.
There were 3 pictures taken of Beau and I can muster the strength to look at one of them. Yeah. The other 2, I can't even look at them.
Yeah. It's hard too, because, you know, I sent that picture to my mom, and at that point they had a tube down her throat trying to pull out all the blood that had gotten into her lungs. And my mom texts back and she's like, that breaks my heart because she looks scared. Oh. And so now, like, when I look at her little eyes, you can just see the fear in her eyes almost as she has that tube down her throat and they're pulling all the blood out.
Hell, I can't. This is just, oh.
I know.
So is she responsive at this moment then?
So, her oxygen is really low. Her heart rate is really low. Once they get all of the blood pulled out of her lungs, you know, they have oxygen on her and stuff. And within 10 minutes, she was gone. You know, she was out of the room and into transition. And I sent Jordan there with her. So for a long time, I didn't really know, you know, and the hard thing again with it still being somewhat COVID times, I was by myself sitting in my room wondering, like, is my baby alive? Is she going to make it? You just had no idea what it was going to look like.
So then she goes to the NICU. Were you at all then able to go see her later that day in the NICU?
Later that day I was, yeah. So she was in transition and let me say this. I was talking to Jordan last night about her being in the NICU and everything like that. And I'm like, it is all such a blur because I feel like emotionally I was so shut off and cut off from everything that it's hard to remember everything that happened during that time. You know, like I've written down everything that I can, but Jordan will say things like, yeah, and then the doctor said this. And I'm like, what? Like it, you know, what point did he say that? Anyway, so I want to say he was there for about an hour. My mom, about an hour after all of it happened, she drove up and walked in. And there's one thing that just like frustrates the heck out of me is my mom walks in, my nurse is in the room still, and she looks at my mom because my mom sees me and my mom describes me as like there's nothing there. Like there's no soul left to my body because I'm just like, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, the nurse truly looks at my mom and says, she's only sad because she didn't get to do the natural birth she wanted.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm a little upset because I don't know if my baby's going to live or not.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, my baby had a stroke and he turned out fine. I'm like, are you saying my baby had a stroke or where are we going with this? She's like, well, no, I'm just saying my baby had a stroke. I'm like, I'm sorry. What?
Not the time or place.
Not the time or place. So anyway, they get her to the NICU. Jordan comes back so that they can move me over into like the recovery area. And the head doctor in the NICU comes in to talk to me, the same one that was like, let's get pictures, you know? So he comes in and, there's a treatment. It's a cooling blanket that they put on babies that have gone without oxygen for a long time. They tend to put these babies on them. But they have to meet a certain requirement to be put onto this blanket. There's 5 different things, right? So they have to meet at least 4 of the 5 requirements. And at this point, she was only meeting 3 of them. And so they're like, right now, the cooling blanket isn't really an option. If she ends up meeting those requirements, she has to be on it within 6 hours of being born. Is how quickly we have to get it on for it to work. Okay. And so he's like, we don't really know what things are looking like. Her oxygen is still really bad. Her heart rate is still really low. He comes back in again. It's all a blur, but I'm going to say probably 30 minutes later. And it's like, she's declining. She now reaches 4 of the 5 criteria for the cooling blanket. So she is now eligible to be on that if you want to. And he said, you know, this is a blanket. She's going to have to be on it for 72 hours. So you won't be able to hold her. You won't be able to, you know, anything like that. But if we want to give her her best shot at a normal future, this is what it looks like. So we opted to do the cooling blanket. So we got her on that right away. And so grateful that we did, even though it was so hard to do. Basically what it does is it makes their body so cold that they go in a state of hypothermia. So it just makes them so cold. But it allows their body to relax. And so their organs aren't quite like, they don't have to work as hard, you know, to support the body. And so if there's any injury done to the brain, it allows those 72 hours where the body doesn't have to work quite as hard to heal, or, you know, to recover a little bit from the trauma that it had gone through. So there was at the time it sucked hearing that she had declined, because you never want to hear that. But at the same time, it's almost a miracle that she did decline so that she was able to be eligible to go onto that cooling blanket. Because everybody that we have met with since she has been born has been like, wow, you are so lucky that she was able to be on that cooling blanket.
What a lesson for life. Like sometimes when you think like, oh, the decline is happening and how it sucks, but then it ends up being the miracle. Sorry. But, okay. So the 72 hours she's on it.
72 hours.
And at any point, so in that state, can they see if anything's changing or they're just letting it sit?
No, at this point, you just let them sit. You know, they're able to, because they get pretty uncomfortable because they are so cold. It drops them down to, I feel like I'm butchering this number, but I want to say it drops them down to like 92 degrees Fahrenheit, their whole body temperature, instead of the 98.6.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So they're pretty uncomfortable. So they keep them, you know, they continue to give them medication so that they're not uncomfortable and whatnot, but they're not able to eat. They don't give them food or, you know, anything like that. They give her sugar water through like her IV and stuff like that. But that's about it. So really you just sit, watch and pray for 3 days.
And you're at the hospital during all this.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Man, it was rough. It was really hard. I actually remember saying this to you when you were asking for advice. And I just said, try to feel your emotions.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, they're going to come back and they're going to come back hard. They're going to hit really hard because that's what I did. I didn't feel anything in there because there were so many emotions that I wanted to feel. But in like, I said this to Jordan the other night too, when we were walking to my recovery room, a nurse was like, oh my gosh, congratulations on your new baby. And I was like, I wanted to be like, congratulations for what?
Yeah.
You know, which is so bad to think that way. But when I didn't know, you know, what was going to happen, I was like, I don't want people being happy for me right now.
Yep.
So the hospital stay was rough. I decided to stay the full like 48 hours post delivery so that I could be with her as much as possible. You know what I mean? But yeah, even when I went home, she was still on the cooling blanket. Wow. So.
And then you come home, you still have 2 other kids. And how? Because then are you going back to the hospital every day? Or are you just waiting until she's done with the blanket to go back or?
Nope. So I was there pretty much all the time, you know, and again, this was another thing that in the moment it seemed like it really sucked. But looking back, it was a blessing once again, is that Jordan actually got sick. He gets sick when he gets stressed or when he gets tired. He's like down for the count, right? And so from all the stress of everything that was going on, as soon as we got home from the hospital, he came down with like a bad cold. So Jordan wasn't able to go up to the hospital and see her.
Yeah.
Which in the moment was really hard it was hard for both of us because I wanted the support, right? But it was really hard for him too, not being able to go see his daughter.
Yeah.
But now it was such a blessing because he was able to stay home with our other 2 kids.
Which they need.
Now, you know, we have great family around. We have grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, things like that, you know, that were so awesome and more than willing to step in and watch our kids for us.
For sure.
But our kids needed mom or dad. You know what I mean? And so even though it was so hard for him to not be able to come to the hospital, it was a huge blessing for him to be able to stay home with our other 2 kids. So Jordan actually, well, I didn't get to hold her for the first like 4 days, but Jordan didn't get to hold her until the day we came home. Wow. I know.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. And from what so it's 4 days when she gets the blanket off. Or is it 5?
So it's 72 hours with it on and rocking and rolling, right?
And are you at day 4?
And then so she got it on the evening she was born.
Okay.
But then it's 72 hours on at like full power. And then they have to slowly wean them off or it can cause seizures.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I want to say it took like 12 hours for them to finally, you know, get her completely back to normal body temperature. So throughout the whole time, they had like an EEG monitor going on her and stuff like that to check for any seizure activity. And we were so stressed about it, but miraculously no seizures
Yeah.
or anything like that coming off of it, which was, it was like the most stressful night of my life watching her. But it was also like the most beautiful thing because you saw, and I go back and look and see pictures of her when she's on the cooling blanket and she's so tight, right? Like her hands are in really tight fists. Like she's just so cold and not moving. And then you see slowly as her body temperature begins to warm back up, her hands relax a little bit and she's moving around. And so it was amazing seeing her almost come to life, being taken off of that cooling blanket. But man, it was a stressful 12 hours.
I don't know how you did it. I'm just sitting here and my gosh, you said you were going to be crying, not me. Because I'm just sitting here and I remember how much did she weigh when she was born? I didn't know.
She was 6 pounds, 7 ounces.
Oh, still
so
just
she was my
little,
smallest.
Oh, this little itty bitty. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, that I don't know how you made it through that alone.
I didn't. I you know, and I know you say like you would sit by your phone and watch for me to post things and stuff. And, you know, I had a hard time wanting to post about it, but at the same time, I'm like, I know the power of prayer and the power of fasting and, you know, things like that. And how many people we had in our corner when I did post about it. I was like, I have to continue to update people so that their prayers can continue to follow her. You know what I mean? And I truly don't believe that we would be where we are today if we didn't have so many amazing friends and family surrounding us, praying for her and fasting for her. It was amazing. Like you and I, you know, how we said like, this is kind of what brought us back together. But there are so many relationships like that did come back together because of Sloan and everything that she went through. And so, wow, so many blessings that came along with the hardest thing I've ever gone through. Yeah. But so many blessings came from it for sure.
So total of, as she's starting to come back to, then she said that was a part of it. Cause I remember you were talking about, you were waiting for there was something on her brain scan. Is that a part of when she was coming off, or was that the next part?
That was the next part. So they wanted to cool her down, allow her brain to kind of have a little bit to relax. And they were watching for the seizures with the EEGs and things like that. And all of that checked out. So kind of their final thing to assess not her long-term health, because we still aren't clear on what that's going to look like. Right. But, you know, just in that moment, how she is healing and stuff. The next big thing to see any major damage is going to be an MRI. So I want to say I think it was Thursday, whatever day that was. It was Thursday. Yeah. That they had the MRI. She had a tiny little hemorrhage on the back of her brain. But they said that 50% of babies have those.
Beau had one.
Just from being delivered. So they're like, no, she's in the clear. Like everything looks perfect. She's in the clear for now. You know what I mean? So it was.
What was it? 7 days? Or am I going off? Was it a week? I feel like, how many days was she in the NICU?
She was in the NICU for like 7.5 days. Okay. So yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I remember that last post. And it was amazing. I was so happy.
It was the hard thing is after we got her, you know, we got the good news of her brain being clear and no seizure activity. So we're like, sweet, let's go home. Right. And it's like, no, she still needs oxygen. She still isn't eating. She still needs to gain weight. You know, all these little things that we weren't like really thinking about having to get through, you know? And the hard thing with Sloan is, in true Coulihan child fashion, she wouldn't take a bottle.
Oh my goodness.
Would not take a bottle. And so she had to have so many feedings. It was for like 40, she had to have so much milk intake, and they would, when breastfeeding, right, they would just check her diaper weight and stuff like that to see how much she was getting. But she had to have so much for 48 hours straight. Like she couldn't miss a feeding that wasn't good enough for 48 hours. And so I'm like, okay, I have 2 other kids at home. Yeah. I legitimately cannot sleep here. So anyway, lots and lots of praying and lots of time up at the NICU. And so she finally got weaned off the oxygen slowly but surely. And then, like I said, the more time I was able to spend there nursing her, you know, the more weight she was gaining and whatnot. Because bottles, even though I was pumping and taking the milk up there, she wanted nothing to do with it at all. She's like, it's not my mom. I don't want it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the morning that we got to bring her home, January 3rd,
Sister's wedding.
7th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which, sorry, I
whole-
remembered that. That was the whole thing.
So yeah, the 3rd, I go up there, zero intentions of bringing her home today. I'm like getting so frustrated because I'm like, she eats fine when I'm there. Just let me bring her home.
Yeah.
But anyway, go up there and they're like, all right, it's her release date. I'm like,
And that
Hold
is
up,
so
what?
NICU fashion.
I know, right?
They don't give you any good
no
to go.
heads up. You're good to go. We're just going to have someone come in and watch her breastfeed, see if she's eating good, if her latch is good. We're going to have someone walk you through discharge, you know, so which happiest day of my life, right? But man, is discharge from the NICU like a whole different thing.
How long was yours? I think ours was 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're just sitting there.
I don't even know exactly how long, but it was like video after video after meeting after meeting, which I'm grateful that they have those resources, you know. But when they say, all right, it's discharge day, I'm like, sweet.
Let's go.
We got like 2 hours. We're good.
The end of that day, you're like, okay. So did she come home? She didn't come home on oxygen?
She did not.
No feeding tubes?
No feeding tubes.
That's so awesome.
Oh, and that poor thing hated her feeding tube. The second it would go in, she'd rip it right back out.
Oh, yeah.
And so then they had to do it again and again. I know.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Poor
Okay.
thing.
So wait, so her and Gabe are 2 days. Well, no, sorry. Her original due date was January 10th.
Correct.
I'm getting all those dates.
So
she's December 26th.
right. So she was in the NICU on Gabe's birthday.
Okay, yeah.
As well.
Yes, because he's the New Year's.
He's
and
the
when's
New Year's
Letty's
Day.
birthday? We might as well throw that in there.
October 2nd.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So it was.
How is Sloan now?
She is a tough cookie. She really is. She's tough. She's seen by a neurologist every 3 months just to kind of monitor, you know, where she's at. They had some concerns with her at her first appointment, you know, that she's a little stiffer than they would like her to be. And just, you know, just a few little things that they were concerned about cerebral palsy, which is very common with what she went through. But then at her 6-month appointment, she started looking a little bit better. Anyway, so she does occupational therapy once a week. We take her in and she gets to go play with her little friend once a week in therapy. So it's kind of, she hates it, but loves it.
Yes.
At the same time. I think we've just come to realize that, I mean, we hope we're accurate in assuming this, that it takes a little bit more work for her to accomplish those milestones that she's supposed to be at. You know, she needs a little bit more help, a little bit more of a nudge. But like the neurologist said, you know, we really won't know exactly what things are going to look like until she's about 2. But she looks really good considering what she went through.
She's beautiful. I love your family. They're just, you already have a beautiful family, but just the glow that your family carries now.
You're so kind.
I mean,
thank you. She really did add a very important missing piece that we didn't know we needed. You know, I mean, obviously we weren't trying for her or anything. We believe she has a very special mission here on this earth, considering we weren't trying for her. She made it through everything that she did and still is coming out strong, you know? So we feel really blessed to have her in our home. That's for sure. And to say that her siblings love her is understatement of the year. Like such a transformation, because when I had Letty, Gabe hated her. He wanted nothing to do with her. He wanted her sent back. He was wondering what the return policy was. But both Gabe and Letty are just smitten with her.
Yeah.
Oh, they love her so much. She's pretty special.
I love that. Okay. So, oh my goodness, we are just getting to the end and I'm just like, I can't. So in the little, like, you know, timeline I sent you, I I guess, you know, you kind of went in on it, but what we do need to talk about, you're a doula.
I am.
And I want to hit on that because
let's do it.
It happened after Sloan got here.
Correct.
Walk us through that.
So from the time I had Gabe, I loved childbirth. Okay. Granted, they were with epidurals, things like that, but just like the whole process of childbirth and everything, I loved it right away. And I honestly, this sounds kind of bad, but I think that's another reason why I wanted one so soon after Gabe, because I'm like, I want to deliver another baby. Like I just have such a passion for it, right? So I had considered doing it since I had Gabe, and then Sloan came, and I had contemplated having either like a doula or my mom in the room with me or something like that. And man, I regret not doing that so badly because here Jordan and I are so wrapped up in the moment of getting ready to welcome a new baby into our family. And I'm in so much pain that I'm not like processing normal things, right? Like now I look back and I'm like, well, duh, if I'm bleeding that much, I should have just been like, freaking get me in. What are you guys doing? But in that moment, nobody's in there, you know, nobody's really thinking about these things. So I'm like, the reason that I finally decided to jump both feet in doula is I'm like, I don't want anyone else to experience that. I want every other woman who wants someone in that room with them as an advocate to have someone in that room with them as their advocate. You know what I mean? So that was kind of my take on that. And then my sister-in-law, she actually just barely had a baby, and she was texting me while pregnant about hiring a doula. And I said, well, how about I just get certified and I'll be your doula? And I was like, kind of kidding a little bit because I didn't know how she'd feel about having her sister-in-law be her doula, you know? And she's like, okay. I was like, great, sweet, let's do it. So I kind of have her and Sloan to thank really for, you know, pushing me into it. But it's been amazing. Childbirth is just the most beautiful thing in the world, you know, especially once you learn how the body actually works to get the baby here and, you know, just everything that goes into it. It's pretty incredible and amazing. So again, I think my biggest thing, not only because I love childbirth, but I want to be able to be there to advocate for other women
for sure
that, you know, during childbirth may not be noticing these things that could potentially be harmful or, you know, you know what I mean? Because I do genuinely believe that doctors and nurses are there and have our best interest, right? I do believe that. I think in my situation, a lot of it was neglected that should not have been neglected.
Completely.
Right. And so I think that maybe if I had had someone else in there to shed a little bit more light that wasn't as emotionally involved and wasn't a part of the medical team.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe we would have had more success.
And like you said, it's so hard because it brought you here now.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, did you need to go through that to know?
Absolutely. I know it. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful.
This is amazing. This episode is just will forever go down in my heart as one of my most favorite because I just love you and I adore you. And I'm just so happy.
Well, I'm happy that you asked me to do it. I know, me too. I really am. Like I said, the second that I saw your post that that's what you had, my heart sunk. I messaged you and then I called my husband and I'm like, my friend from high school is going through what we just went through. And I am just heartbroken.
But how grateful, because again, like I didn't even know it was a placenta abruption until after. No one had told me any of that. It wasn't because my doctor wasn't there. So I had an on-call doctor. It's when she came in, she told me. And I had no idea. But as soon as she said it, I was like, Mikell. Right. Oh my gosh, Mikell just went through that.
Right. Exactly.
So
I know. And, you know, that's another thing that I said to my husband. I'm like, do I think McKenna's the only reason that I had this? Absolutely not. But, you know, I'm grateful in a weird sense that I did so that we could reconnect, so that I could help you through it a little bit. You know, nobody can really help you through it, but be a little bit more of a shoulder to lean on.
Which you totally were.
When you feel like nobody else understands what you're going through.
Yeah.
You know.
And I strongly believe that whoever is listening to this episode, wherever, I mean, it'll be there here for a while. I won't be surprised if there's going to be other people who need to hear what
for
you've
sure.
talked about
Yeah.
and the blessings and miracles. And obviously they all come in different forms, but
100%.
just like you said, sometimes you just need to know that you're not alone.
Yeah, definitely.
So, real quickly, what are the next couple years looking like for the Coulahan? Did I say that right? Coulahan?
Coulahan.
Oh, Coulahan.
But you know what? You're pretty good. You're pretty dang close. I usually get Callahan.
Okay.
So you're good. You're good. Man, the next couple years. So it's funny. Jordan and I have always kind of bounced around on how many kids we wanted. When we first got married, we said 3 and done.
Yeah.
We're not 3 and done.
Yep.
After I had 1, I was like, sweet, I love motherhood. I want 6.
Yeah.
He's like, nope, not doing that. So then we kind of compromised. I'm like 4 or 5. Compromised, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then after Sloan, Jordan was like, we're done. I can't go through this again.
Yeah.
We're not having any more babies. And I said, Jordan, there's at least 1 more up there that needs us. There's 1 more at least. So we can do 4. I won't push for 5 if you don't want 5. So we settle on 4. And then Jordan goes, I think we should have 5. I'm like,
alrighty then.
okay. So I don't know. We'll kind of see how it goes, but probably like I would guess within about the next 2 years, we'll have another one.
Yep.
After that, we'll see how it goes. We're hoping to dream life for us would be to own like a farm in things.
Oh,
and
don't get me started.
I know.
So it's a dream. And if cows are on that farm, I've hit it.
I'm like, I want cows, I want pigs, I want horses, chickens, you name it. I want it. I mean, do you remember Chelsea Larson from high school? So she owns a farm. I don't know if you've seen this. They live in Logan. Shout out Chelsea. But they like full functioning farm. So like they sell their beef, things like that. So you guys, the beef at Golden Hour Farm is amazing. Seriously amazing. Right. But she's just like living my dream life right now with her little kids out there on the farm. And so anyway, like I said, we would like to try and get into a bigger home before we have another kid. Hopefully on some land with some animals. So that's kind of what hopefully things look like in the next few years. But
I love it.
We take it a day at a time here.
I love it. Thank you. Seriously, so much.
You're welcome.
From the bottom of my heart. And
Thank you.
We will now forever be bonded. And I'm so happy.
I know, me too. I love it.
If anyone would like to reach out to you, or just to, maybe even to go back, see that story, what is your Instagram?
My Instagram is just, what is my Instagram?
It's all right. That's how I feel sometimes.
Oh, it's just my full name. Just Mikell Coulahan.
Okay. And I think I'll put it on the
that's perfect.
description, but all right. And again, to whoever is listening, whoever that one person is, hopefully this helped you, or maybe someone else that you know who's going through it. But thanks for listening. Again, thanks, Mikell.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.